Welcome today, everyone, to Lunch with Dodie. We have a special guest, Katie Terlecki.
You got it.
And she's with the Silver Angels Foot Care. Used to just be our foot clinic, but these ladies took it upon themselves, and when Legacy was closing it, they decided to open it up as their own business. And I'm very proud of them. It's been a fantastic partnership, and I'm very proud of you ladies for taking this head on with it and spearheading it. So the foot clinic is located here in the Silverton Senior Center on Tuesdays and Wednesdays by appointment. And Katie is one of the main owners and nurses of the business, and she will tell us all about the wonderful services that Silver Angels Foot Care provides. Thank you, Katie.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I actually wanted to start out when you asked me to do this, I asked both Angela and Leanna, who are both the nurses in the foot clinic right now, just kind of some detail on how the foot clinic started, because I always think that that's very interesting, because I never saw myself as being a foot nurse, but yet here I am and I love it. So I'm actually, I also work for Steps at the hospital, and I'm actually working with Leanna today, so she was able to give me some information. Leanna Smith has been one of the nurses that has been with the foot clinic since it opened in 1990. So it has been around for a long time. She was telling me that Bill Winters, when he was the CEO of Silverton Hospital, his mom, who was elderly, had asked her what services she felt that she needed in the community, being a senior citizen. And she said two things. She wanted foot care and she wanted transportation. And so that was how the foot clinic got started and TripLink got started. Since 1990, it was first opened by a nurse. Her name was Dodie Hart. It was located behind the hospital, and it remained part of Silverton Hospital, and then Legacy until 2019. We were brought into a meeting, and we were told that due to some budget cuts that they would be eliminating that service. And so Jackie at the time, Leanna, myself, and Angela, we were all working in the foot clinic. And, we had a couple hundred people that we provided service for. So we were at a loss of what to do. None of us went into nursing thinking that we would own our own business. And so we have jumped through a lot of hoops and had some tears and some, obviously, a lot of laughter and happy times. But Legacy closed it down April 1st of 2019, and we opened it April 2nd, the next day. So we have been open since then, and in our first year, we've managed to overcome a pandemic, wildfires, and everything else thrown our way. But we've continued to do it. Angela and I love it. Currently, it is me, Angela Smith, who is actually the owner of Silver Angels Foot Care. I myself couldn't come up with a very good name, so I just used my own name as my business name. And then Leanna Smith is also, who, like I said, has been there since the beginning. She's there, so we kind of work, it's kind of like if you go to a salon, you've got different independent contractors there, so we all own our own business. We all decided we're all married to someone else, so we don't really want to be married in business. So So we all work together really well. Angela and I have been learning lots and learning new things. Angela is certified in foot care. Myself, I'm a certified wound nurse. And so a lot of what I was seeing in Steps and taking care of wounds, I now get to see ahead of time, and I can a lot of times help people get to the right place they need to be, get in to see their doctor sooner. Calluses, ulcers, corns, lots of other issues that we're able to get ahead of and prevent from happening. So it's a lot of really preventative care. And I find it challenging, and I love it. And it's so rewarding when they walk out and they feel so much better. Right now, we're only able to operate at about 50% capacity, which actually in a way has been kind of great because it gives us more time with each person. We provide a full assessment of your feet. We trim the nails, we trim any calluses, corns, any issues that are going on there. We work really closely with, if you need any orthotics or anything like to go in your shoes to help with any pressure points that are going on. And then also just giving any resources that you might need. So it's a great service. And then we wrap it up with a nice little massage, which I think everyone likes probably the best.
Now there is a fee for your services, and
Yes.
does some insurance cover that at all?
No. So unfortunately, we have tried. So with Angela and I being foot care, or she's foot care certified and myself wound care certified, we are part of a bunch of foot care associations. Mm-hmm. People have been pushing really hard to try to put that like on some legislation to get these certain services covered. But unfortunately, so far they have not been. It's only if you are a podiatrist mm-hmm. and if you are diabetic. We're all working on that, trying to get this covered. Right now, it is not a covered service mm-hmm. because we are registered nurses. Our fee at this time is $40, either cash or check. And we are trying very, very hard to not increase our prices. As everyone knows, everything has increased. Our biggest challenge right now is getting just our regular PPE, nothing like extravagant. Mm-hmm. It's difficult to even get a box of gloves these days. So we're trying very hard to keep it at that. A lot of people can turn their receipts though into insurance, or some people can turn them into insurance and some of them will cover it. Sometimes they won't. But you can turn it in on your taxes. Oh. As another medical cost.
Oh,
so
that's nice to know. So it's deductible as a medical cost.
Yes. Yeah. And we we do receipts every time, or what we can do at the end of the year is we mark down every time the person comes in. So at the end of the year, we can mark down the total that has been paid out.
Right, because you definitely have people who are regular, who depend on the foot care for their maintaining their own health and well-being. And
yes.
So what is the standard is it every month, every 6 weeks?
Usually our normal range, I would say, is every 6 to 8 weeks, but we do have some patients. We have a couple that come in every 4 weeks because they cannot stand, if their nails are at all long, they can't handle that. And then we have some patients that their nails grow pretty slow and they come every like 12 weeks. Oh. Usually it's not much more than that. I would say 10 is kind of pushing it. And that's just because people, calluses start to build back up, corns will build up. And then of course the nails will start to get longer, or if they have fungus, they will start to get thicker and just cause some issues. We have a lot of patients that come in and say their wife or their husband is angry with them because they're cutting the sheets with their toenails. So we also help relationships. So
those toenails can be deadly weapons.
They can be. Absolutely.
So on that respect, as we age and obviously our body ages and changes, and our toenails as well, they tend to get thicker and harder to cut also. Isn't that why you have such a valuable service?
They say usually over, I believe it's the age of 65, that the increased chance of having fungus in our nails increases dramatically. I want to say now that it's almost up to like 85% of the population over 65 will have some sort of fungus, and it can be very slight. It can be just very minimal. And so it's very important as we age, the bones in our feet start to soften and kind of flatten. So our feet will, just the way that our feet are in our shoes, they will change. And so shoes that we used to once wear will now be uncomfortable and cause a pressure spot and start causing sores. Calluses can start to build up in places that you didn't normally have them. I've had back surgery, and so it's really hard for me to even cut my own toenails. Right. I also had LASIK surgery, and it's hard for me to see up close sometimes, like at a certain level without my glasses. And so for some people, they just can't either see down there. They can't, they're too thick, and they can't get the clippers down there. And then we have a lot of diabetics
Mhm.
who shouldn't be clipping their own toenails, because if they have any neuropathy in their feet
Mhm.
and they were to nick themselves, they may not feel it.
Mhm.
And that can cause a whole host of problems for
Right.
them. So it's really good. I consider it, now that I've been in this for a while, preventative care.
Yes.
And I just think, even people that can reach their toenails,
Mhm.
sometimes they don't get them the best, or they might be starting some little issues, or, crossover toes or a hammer toe or something that, you may not really notice, because we don't always take good care of our feet. We just kind of take it for granted sometimes. And, it's nice to have those set of eyes on your toes and your feet.
I have to agree with bad knees and that sort of thing. It is hard to bend and contort to get to
Yeah.
the toes. I mean, it's truly, and that's a terrible thing that you can't bend enough to reach your toes to.
Yeah.
So you guys are really invaluable. I mean, you're just wonderful. So and you see people by appointments. So how do
Yes.
they make appointments?
When we were with Legacy, people would call in, and somebody else made the appointments for us, and it was on a computer.
Mhm.
And now Angela and I and Leanna, we have looked at hundreds of different scheduling options, and none of them really seem to work for all of us. And especially we have some people that may not have the internet, or, schedule stuff on their
Yeah.
cell phones and stuff like that. So when we first started this, Angela said, I will just use my cell phone, and we will write everything down in a book. We kind of went, what they would say, old school. And now that number is actually Angela's cell phone number.
Mhm.
But that's what she uses as her business number, and she schedules for all of us. We have just recently, we started using a Google app with calendar, that we can all three now make appointments and look at the schedule, which is really nice. So we've moved away from the book. So right now, patients or anybody who is interested in the services would call the number for the Silver Angels Foot Care, and you will most likely get Angela, and she would schedule your appointment. And then we also, the day before your scheduled appointment, we give you a reminder call, and we tried to give that for every single person, because that was also something that Legacy did. We try to do that. And so far, everything has worked pretty well. If Angela goes on vacation, then Leanna or I try to take over the phone. Not perfect, but it works.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Well, we never had a good phone system with the foot clinic, even though you're just right here.
Yeah.
We were never able to transfer the phones for some
It
reason.
We've
got
really hard.
Yeah. So,
We tried to figure out what to do, or
right.
what would be best. But so far, this seems to be working. And then really, for everyone that comes in, when you do come in, we try to make the next appointment while you're there, and that
Right.
seems to work pretty well. And then any new clients give us a call, and we get them on the books. So
Awesome.
seems to be working pretty smoothly.
Mm-hmm. Do your clients have to be seniors?
No, they do not. When we were with Legacy,
Mhm.
we did not. It was mostly seniors. We had a few younger clients, but they were people that had some disabilities, and I think the couple that we did have actually lived like in a nursing home, or a skilled facility. When we became our own business, as we had discussed with you, and I think with some other people in the senior center, we wanted to open it up for people who needed health care or needed foot care,
Mhm.
that maybe weren't over 55. I can tell you, we do not have a lot of, very young people, but we do have some people that, that we were missing, that are in maybe their 40s, or, 52, that were under that number. And so that's been really great. We also have had a couple clients that have some family members that are younger, that have some pretty severe disability.
Mhm.
And so that has been, I had a dad tell us that he has I think he's autistic.
Mhm.
He's in his 20s, but that it was very, it was really good. He hadn't been able to get this care anywhere. And so it turned out to be a really good thing.
So yeah, I just want to clarify, before when the senior center was first opened, we were under that grant that restricted everybody to be 60 and over. And since the last few years, we've down our age limit from 50 to 50. And but when we have services such as yours or other things that are going to benefit the community, we will drop the age even, to whoever needs it. And when you're paying for a service such as the foot clinic, then it's more than appropriate to have people come in at any age.
And it's actually been really great, I believe, because I feel like we've had a few, middle age, maybe right under that 50, and they've come in for service, and then they've got their parents to come in, and they've actually even, got their parents to sign up to be, at the senior center. And it's actually just been, I think, opening that up just, it just opened up so many other avenues for people to just be exposed to the senior center. So
I agree. Now you also can do in-home care or not?
Yes, so we can. What we have done, so we used to have a clinic in Woodburn when we were with Legacy. When that was closed, we were really trying to figure out what options we had, like where could we go, what could we do to try to help out that population, because they could no longer use TripLink to get to Silverton either. So Angela and I looked around. She finally found a place at Country Meadows. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they have shut down to the outside public. So she is only doing the people who reside there. So when all of that happened, we decided that yes, we need to do. There was patients that had gone months without any foot care, and so we started going into the homes, following all the proper COVID restrictions, following all those procedures. And so Angela really started. She's the one that has kind of ramped that up. I have 2 children at home, and it's a little harder for me to navigate doing that. But Angela has been, and she tries to do them. I believe she kind of waits, and she'll have people, like if they're in Salem or Woodburn, she kind of tries to gather a few of them so that she's doing them all together. And that fee is $10 more. That is $50 to come into the home and provide that service. And we usually at this point only provide that for patients we've already seen in the clinic. And if they need to, if there's something that happened, like we've had a few people that have had surgeries, or if it, if there's extenuating circumstances where it's their first time and they need to be seen at home, we will do our best to accommodate that.
So how many in-home clients do you guys have right now? Do you know?
I was just thinking that before you asked that, and I don't actually know. I would say honestly, on an average, she probably maybe has 5 to 10 in a week.
That's what I would say too.
Yeah, I mean, and it really just differs. It just, if there's nothing going on, she might have a week where she has none, and then we'll have a week where she has quite a few. It's a lot of work to pack everything up that we have, because we have the podiatry sander that we have that has the vacuum in it, and so it's a lot to pack and to make sure we have all of the supplies, everything that we use, and now all of the extra COVID stuff that we have to have. It's quite a bit to transport that all around. So you can't really do too many in a day when you're doing that route.
And you probably have to ensure somehow or make sure the environment you're going into is going to be conducive to be doing this.
Yes.
Also. And that might happen when you go into a home.
Yeah, it can be. That can definitely be a challenge. Like I said, most of the time there are people that we've seen in the clinic, and we're doing a service of trying to help them out and go to their home. We had a few people that did not want to wear a mask while we were there, which that's their right. But unfortunately, for us to continue what we're doing, we have to follow certain protocol while we're in a home, and that's to protect the person that we're taking care of.
So in that situation, were you able to come to a compromise, or were you not able to do?
we just weren't able to provide service for them.
Right.
And they didn't want to wear a mask anywhere. And so unfortunately, we haven't been able to provide service for them.
Well, I'd like to share with everybody that we take COVID very seriously here at the Senior Center,
Absolutely.
because we are the most vulnerable population, all of us. If you haven't been in for the foot clinic, because we're really not open for other programs or events at this time, but what we do is we have a check-in station when you first come in, and we do the thermometer temperature gun, take your temperature. We have you sign in with your contact information. We ask you the few questions. Do you have a fever? Have you been coughing? Have you been traveling anywhere or around anybody? And then we also have lots of hand sanitizer, gloves if you need them, and we require masks. So I just want folks to know that when you come into the foot clinic or coming into the Senior Center at all, masks are always required. We social distance, and that's why they have rearranged the foot clinic so that they don't see as many clients as one time. And they have the ability to still provide their services and maintain all of the safety protocol, which is a lot of hoops to jump through.
It is.
But we're doing our best.
Yeah.
And I just want everyone to know we take it seriously and we're taking these precautions seriously.
Absolutely. We've had, a lot of questions, and I think there's been a lot of worry about that, which is very understandable. But like you said, like we rearranged it. We no longer have volunteers right now. We have only 2 chairs in the room, and they are over 6 feet apart. Angela and I wear a mask all day. We also check our own temperatures, or we get our temperature checked when we come in.
Yep.
And our patients and clients have been really wonderful about, even if they're feeling a little bit off, they call us and they cancel their appointment. So we've been it has gone very well. We've had no clients that we've known of since we opened back up who have had COVID, thankfully. So, and we keep a pretty close eye on most of our people. And so nobody has had that. We take it very seriously. We do not want to be, the cause of anything spreading.
Yeah.
I think at this point we can all agree that we're, I don't know, tired's not the right word, but it gets exhausting sometimes, to follow all these rules. And, but we're doing our best. The prices of all of the PPE have gone up, but that really hasn't changed what we do as far as our sanitation. Us both being nurses and working in the hospitals and everywhere else. I come from working wound care. Angela came from a background of oncology. So we both take it very seriously about keeping our patients safe and disinfecting things, cleaning, wiping everything down, making sure everything is very, clean and sanitized. And so we take that very seriously and want everyone to feel safe when they come in to get their feet done.
So does anybody have any questions for Katie today?
I just would like to share. I don't have any questions. My mom is a client, and I am extremely grateful for your service, and so happy that you were able to take over seamlessly. I'm sure it wasn't seamlessly on your end, but to the client's end, it was seamlessly after Legacy decided that that service was no longer a benefit service. I mean, that was just, I sure appreciate it. It's just been wonderful that my mom can go someplace and have her feet taken care of. And she's probably one of those who says, I have the ugliest feet. I'm sure she tells you that. So anyway, thank you for what you do.
Yes, absolutely.
What I want.
Absolutely.
No.
Thank you for supporting that with her. Like, a lot of times it takes family to make sure to bring them in and to, make sure that they're getting that care. And I think that's, it takes a village for all of us to, especially with all the visits and everything. So, so thank you as well.
Well, and so we finally got her. Yeah, I used to bring her in and finally got her accustomed to using the silver trolley.
Oh,
great. She wasn't comfortable at all using the trolley. So now
see.
she does that. That takes a big pressure off of us, her
Oh, good.
children, because we have to take her to
Yeah.
other appointments. And
Yeah.
for the foot care, there's not really anything that we need to, you
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
that we need to know. But, you know, other appointments, doctor appointments and things like that, we need to
Yeah.
be with her.
Yeah,
But,
the trolley has been great. They have been
Yeah.
very helpful and have been a great, we have quite a few more people, bit of people actually using that service, which is great.
So my best friend Judy Marston Moffat went down to the Foxtoberfest is going on today. It's our makeup for Oktoberfest down at the high school. They have booths down there selling Oktoberfest food. And you drive through, and she went down and got me one of the hand-dipped corn dogs. That is one of the things they're selling. They also have the Butte Creek apple cake with the butter sauce, I understand.
Oh, yum.
And some sausages, and they're open till 7 tonight. And
You're making me hungry, Dodie.
Dodie, you know, I thought I'd do a little lunch blurb here and say, happy Foxtoberfest. I almost didn't say that right. And, you know, everybody have a good Oktoberfest weekend making up for it. I know we're going to have a little party, just a few of us drinking some beer and having some sausages, but
How fun.
some polka music. Probably doing the chicken dance too.
There you go.
But yeah.
That's exciting.
So I just had to share. That was a big surprise. That was very nice
Aw.
of her. It's a great name you guys came up with. Really.
I
good
know.
name.
Angela came up with that one on her own, and it was, you know, had to do obviously with the Silver Falls being up close. And then she also did say, I am the youngest one, but I do have some gray hairs. So she said we're all getting a little silver, and that we're angels because we take care of, you know, people's feet. So it just kind of fell into place.
It's perfect.
And if people ever have any questions, or, you know, maybe they're unsure of exactly, we have some people that bring their parents in and maybe they just want them to be looked at, you know, and sometimes we might say, you know what, maybe you need a podiatrist more than you need us. And we're very open to that if, you know, if people need anything answered. And so, you know, a telephone call to one of us is, if with any questions, you know, we welcome that. So.
Has anybody given you, like, done a Zoom and said, look at this?
No, I think
my doctor started doing that, so I wondered.
no, but I do, you know, it's no different. As a nurse, I constantly get the, hey, will you look at this?
Yes.
You know, look at this picture or this rash or whatever. And then I got my first family member send me a picture of their toes and ask me if it was fungus. So
gotta love the family.
yeah. So yeah, no Zoom calls yet about the feet, but I'm sure that that'll happen eventually.
So as I mentioned it, and we're doing it, let's see if anybody uses that now.
Yeah,
there
we go.
Yeah. Well, we just are very, very happy at the Silverton Senior Center being partners with you guys. You know, it's a great service. You guys are great people to work with.
Thank you.
Partnership.
It has been wonderful. We are very thankful to be there in the senior center, and we really, really, really miss everyone there. It's almost eerie sometimes sitting in there and not hearing everyone. And I know this has been a really rough year, and even this week, these last few weeks have been really rough and very trying. And we simply just miss the people that, you know, aren't coming in anymore, and we feel so sad, you know, the people that, you know, are home without that interaction anymore. And I just hope that they're, you know, I think this is another great way of, you know, doing that and getting out to other people. And I hope that people are able to get on here and, you know, watch this later, and just to know we're thinking about you and we miss you, and we can't wait for people to come back. And I feel like we'll get there. We will get there again, and it'll be good.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dodie.
Anything else today? Katie is still working today. She's over steps as we speak.
Yeah,
on her lunch hour. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Can you believe it's the first Friday of October?
No.
Where's time gone? Thank you, guys.